Hey, what is up guys, it's your boy Z and welcome to another video. Today is not a live stream, it's not a gaming video, it's a game video so you can actually watch whilst listening to my voice about a video that was posted today by Moro again. Now,
okay, this here is literally a photo of me acting. It's literally me putting on a face for a comedy skit. Okay, and that photo I was actually laughing in between takes because it was so difficult to put on a scary face like that.
Okay, and triggered face, eh? Triggered face, ready? Hey, more of the crazy eyes, ready? Triggered face. Hey, triggered face again. Triggered face once more, right? Alright, I think that'll do. How long are we recording this for? 10 minutes, okay.
But here you have Chris taking pictures of my acting to use that to try and brand me as some sort of crazy person. Because that's just the level of dishonesty that this prick has. And for all the people that believe this manipulator, instead of taking 5 minutes to actually check for themselves, actually check the facts, you'd be able to see this video of the skit itself.
today is the 15th for me and he posted a video regarding that I doxed him. Now, he come into a live stream last night, and I'm bringing up everyone up to speed. He come into a live stream last night, and I'm minding my own business, and I'm playing a game, and the chat was going great, and then, boom, Moro decides to come in on one of his sock counts that he goes on about people creating. Now, I have to say, Moro is known for doing sock counts. You only have to type into Google, and he follows people and harasses them under sock counts and stuff like that.
Complete and utter bullshit. Literally posts no evidence of that. You have a look what he's posted. Look, Encyclopedia Dramatica. That is literally a joke website that anyone can post whatever they like on. But he's trying to pass off jokes as factual information. What a lying piece of shit. What a lying piece of shit. Hey, and you have another look at it. They're both my names. There's not a whole list of sock accounts. There's two names there that are both my names. So this business of, making sock accounts to go about harassing people all the time. And I'm well known for it. No, complete and utter bullshit made up by this lying piece of shit. No evidence of it whatsoever.
And he come into my stream on 4 accounts and pretended to be someone he wasn't to try and get information and gored me into getting really agitated and pissed off, which it never happened. All right. But a bit more of a backstory. This all started in July of 2019, 3 months or 3.5 months ago when it happened. And he asked me and Gamerhood to create a live stream for him so he can put out a video. And we both agreed, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, more bullshit. It was not some sort of favor for me. It was not some sort of favor. All it was me inviting these two people to play a video game with me. That's all it was. But this guy is trying to spin that as him doing some sort of favor because he views himself as fucking PewDiePie or something. Like, he literally compares himself to fucking PewDiePie because he's that delusional.
Why should anybody adjust their time? Just like me saying to PewDiePie, well, you upload your video at 9 o'clock in the morning. Don't do it at 9 o'clock, PewDiePie. Do it at fucking 10:30 because at that time I want a live stream. You don't fucking do that to people, mate, and you don't get people to adjust their times. That's your problem. And because he couldn't grasp Rocket League, the game that you're watching, because he couldn't grasp it, couldn't achieve it, couldn't do it, he kicked himself frustratedly, banging his head against the wall, logs out, leaving me and Gamerhood sitting in the title menu waiting for him to come back, and he uninstalls the game and basically logs off.
Now, When you're getting pissed off and upset with a game to the point where you're throwing a controller, what is the normal thing to do at that point? The normal thing to do is to stop playing the game. But now watch as this piece of shit tries to spin that as doing something horrid and inappropriate to him.
Whilst me and Gamerhood are still sitting there. Now, Gamerhood and myself were worried, thinking he's got disconnected. I was getting annoyed because I'm calling out. And lo and behold, Gamerhood went onto his live stream and saw him still live streaming of him deleting the game.
What games I choose to play or don't choose to play is none of your business. Me uninstalling a game is none of your business. I can install or uninstall whatever games I fucking want. It is none of your goddamn business. And then he has a go at me, calling me incredibly disrespectful for exiting out of my own game, for not talking to him how he wants to be talked to, and for going AFK, for leaving the computer and getting something to eat. Why do you keep doing this, just going silent and leaving?
Because he has a habit of doing that, ladies and gentlemen. He has a habit of going silent if something doesn't go his way and just mutinying himself. He sees his frustrations, so he'll go quiet within himself. Not even caring if there's other people on the stream or whatever. He just does it. Because that's what friends do. You ask your friend what's happening and you respond to your friends. That's an issue, dude. Okay? No one's perfect, but that's an issue. If someone asks you a question, you don't just fucking blank them if you don't want to answer it. You just say, I don't want to answer it. You don't just fucking ignore people that you call friends.
You are not entitled to other people's speech. If someone doesn't want to talk to you, they don't have to. And you don't have the right to expect them to speak to you. And then to pretend that other people are doing something horrid to you because they're not fulfilling your own selfish desires. How absolutely disgusting. And he's saying to me, oh, you're not a man, when he's doing this shit. Grow up, you entitled, selfish little toad. But it gets worse because they actually knew that I was upset.
And once again, in my defense, and I will speak on behalf of Gamerhood here, we did not know at this point in time if he had a bad day or not. He come across as, hey guys, welcome to the stream, da da da. It was just an ordinary Moro. But we're supposed to fucking mental telepathy understand that, from the other side of the fucking planet, we're meant to be in his bedroom knowing exactly that he's having a bad day, that he was hungry. Come fucking on. When something wasn't going his way, you start seeing the change in Moro. He doesn't talk as much. You start seeing the facial expressions change, and until right towards the end, he scratches his neck, he turns around, he pulls a nasty face, throws a controller, and causes saying it's fucking bullshit. We saw the video. We saw the change in the video. We saw the change in your facial expressions. At that point, anybody would have thought, fuck it. Either raged on screen and turned off.
And not getting anywhere with the game. Yeah, how do you not see that? Like, how are you that oblivious to that?
We're oblivious, mate. We're oblivious, mate.
That.
When we heard a tone difference, and I can't speak on behalf of Gamerhood, but I speak for myself, but when I hear a tone difference, and if you watch the video, you clearly see this. I try to make light of the situation and try to crack stupid jokes or silly jokes or make myself look like a cock, or, I go a bit quiet because he's not in the frame of mind. You'll clearly see this in the video. And
agitated with other players, not us, other players, because they were scoring and he wasn't.
Yeah.
So not only is it demanding that I speak with them then and there, it's also demanding that I stop being upset. Stop being upset and immediately talk to me. How dare you be upset? That is not what I want. I want you to not be upset. I want you to talk to me now. What disgusting little monsters. Then he goes ahead and completely fabricates this narrative of me blaming him for losing the game.
Now, he needed somebody to vent on or blame because he doesn't really know Gamerhood like he knows me, and I put up with a lot of his shit. So he's going to bag me. So he logs out of the game. He logs out of the game right at the end, thinks fuck it, and throws the remote control. And that's my fault, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, that's my fault that he chose to play that game that night, and it was my fault that he was on a good ping, if we're going to talk about things like that.
Sorry, can't see. If it really was a case of me blaming him for the game, there would be evidence of that. You'd be able to easily go back to the live stream and point out the spot. Oh, here. This is where he said this, and this is where he's blaming me. You'd easily be able to prove it. But he doesn't show anything like that because it doesn't exist. Because he's lying to you. It's completely fabricated. He pulled it straight out of his ass. Then he has a go at me saying that he waited for all this time for me to come back into the game.
So if we didn't check his video, if we didn't check his live stream feed, me and Gamerhood would have still been sitting in Rocket League, just sitting there. Not going into a new match to play, not doing anything. We'd be waiting there for Moro to log back in because we thought he would have had a disconnection issue, or he's ended the stream, he's going to come back in and talk to us on Skype like he usually does after a stream and has a bit of a banter and a laugh. But not this time.
Me being in the game is completely inconsequential. Like, it wasn't some sort of tournament. It wasn't some sort of serious matchup that we had organized. They were random pickup group games where you press a button and it randomly matches you up with random people. For him to sit in the game expecting me to come back and then getting pissed off that I wasn't coming back, that is not normal. Like, that's a very strange thing for him to do. That's not normal. In video games, people frequently exit out and just don't tell anyone, don't check in. It's not some egregious sin to not check in and say you're leaving and you're not coming back for X amount of hours or whatever. No, that's ridiculous. Like, when we were playing World of Warcraft, we would basically play till all hours of the night and fall asleep at our keyboards. We were pretty crazy back then, but it's not normal to have to explain to someone that you're going away and that you're going to be gone for X amount of hours and you're not coming back for X amount of hours. That's ridiculous. Like, that's just not done, especially if it's incredibly inconsequential, like a pickup game. Like, it was just a silly versus game where you'd have random people facing off with other random people. Like, it's completely inconsequential. And guess what? He actually wasn't waiting for me to try and come back. The both of them actually went back into another match.
No, we weren't dicking around. We were waiting for you to come back, Moro. There's nothing else to do on the screen except banter and talk. You were bluntly listening to us and ignoring us. We had nothing else to do. We didn't go AFK. In case you come back, we put us into a new match. We had nothing else to do, so we were just fucking around with the hats and stuff. We didn't go AFK. In case you come back, we put us into a new match.
But then, right, he makes up this story about me saying that I went AFK, that I lied to him about saying AFK, and that I secretly listened to him as he was doing whatever, and that I was just sitting there listening to him and ignoring him, or some nonsense like that. And he goes on to say, oh, I've got video evidence of this happening. Well, have a look at this.
At this point in the second video, he clearly logs out of the game in a total. Not the match. He didn't log out of a match. He pushed through something he didn't want to do, but he logged out of the game and uninstalled it. Didn't say anything to me or Gamerhood. We were sitting on screen thinking he's still streaming this. Didn't say a word to me and G after we asked him hello, is anyone there? Gamerhood went onto his stream to see it. It was just a black screen, which I'm going to put up on screen now for you. And you can clearly see that he was listening to me and Gamerhood after he clearly says that he was AFK.
The thing is, you can trade crates as well.
Yeah. You seem to be experiencing latency or other connection issues. Would you like to troubleshoot the problem? No. Right, garage. And I want to try this new car that I've been working on. Where is it? Oh, did I delete it?
What were you working on?
I deleted it. Oh, jeez.
Where'd Moro go?
What do you mean?
He's not in here. The only person that's beside me is you.
Oh, Moro, are you there? Hello, hello? Do you get disconnected?
I do not know. Wait a minute, see if he's still on. He's offline, according to this.
Offline.
Yep, he's not even in green, he's greyed out offline.
Oh, hang on.
Double check.
He's
He's got a black screen on his stream. Just went and checked it there. Oh, it's actually pretty sick. I'm going to leave it like that, actually. Nope.
Now let's just take that into consideration for a minute. He said that he was AFK, away from keyboard.
Complete and utter bullshit. You go back and watch the live stream. I did not tell them, oh, AFK before exiting out of the game. That simply did not happen. Here is my official account of what actually happened. So I shut down Rocket League. I end the stream. I step away and go get something to eat. I shut down Rocket League. So number one, I shut down Rocket League. I end the stream. 2, I end the stream. I step away and go get something to eat. 3, I go get something to eat. So any video evidence of me supposedly not being AFK would have to be some sort of hidden camera that he's got running from after I've shut down the stream. And at that point, as I'm watching his video, I'm thinking, what the hell? What are you talking about? Video evidence? Where's he getting this video evidence from? But you watch how this bullshit spins it. You watch this. I shut down Rocket League.
I shut down Rocket League, he said.
I end the stream.
He ends the stream.
I step away and go get something to eat.
He steps away to go get something to eat. Here's the video now of him stepping away and getting something to eat. Okay, we'll put that up on screen now, and as you can see, he's just sitting there. He's just sitting there and he's looking at his screen like this, and then Gamerhood comes in on screen saying, no, he's just sitting on a black screen. So then Moro decides to shut down the screen so everyone's just seeing a black screen and him in the top right corner, to sitting his Steam his games that he's got on his screen. Then he comes back. Now, no way can anyone go and get food and drink within that short amount of time, let alone take a piss. But we'll take in consideration that he did go AFK, right? Yet the video says something different.
So basically, he takes my words well out of context and then uses it to basically doctor this video to make it look like I've said AFK and then secretly sat there listening to him. Okay? And then he calls me the liar after literally doctoring this footage and putting out fake evidence. You can't call anyone else a liar. He's manipulating you. He's a manipulator. You know, when we were playing World of Warcraft a very long time ago, he actually said to me one day, "Oh, Moro, did you know that I'm a master manipulator?" I'm a master manipulator, he says. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Why on earth would he say something like that to me? And I didn't say that to him. I said to him like, "Oh yeah, whatever, Chris." But yeah, looks like I should have heeded his warnings when he said that to me. Now you might be wondering, why would he go out of his way to create such an elaborate hoax just to call me a liar? Basically, it's to brainwash his audience. Like, no joke, go look it up. It's called the illusion of truth effect. See, what he does in his video is he repeatedly says, "Oh, he's a liar, he's a liar, he's a liar, he's a liar," over and over again, and sprinkles in, "Oh, but I'm telling the truth. He's a liar, he's a liar, he's a liar." And that's basically what the illusion of truth effect is. When you say something repeatedly to someone, even if it's complete bullshit, eventually they'll view it as the truth. Eventually they'll believe it because it's been said over and over again.
So I responded in a text, which Moro claims was a tirade of abuse. Now I'm going to put up a picture up on screen now what abuse is. Moro, I encourage you to go and study and really learn about the word abuse.
And here's why he's trying to paint me as a liar. It's to discredit me, so that when I show people the evidence of him doing it, people just don't bother looking into it because they automatically view me as lying because they've been steered by Chris to automatically think that it's just a pack of lies. He even goes on to try and misrepresent it, him sending me that as him being kind, which is pretty disgusting. But yeah, what he did, it does fit his definition of abuse, but it also fits with what experts are saying on the matter. They will explain it to you, that it's a way for someone to control another person. So basically, it's doing something horrid to another person until they do what you want. It's a form of control. It's, you're upset, I don't want you to be upset. I'm going to keep sending you nasty messages until you're not upset. You're AFK, I'm going to keep sending you nasty messages until you're no longer AFK. You're ignoring me, I'm going to keep sending you nasty messages until you stop ignoring me. You're not doing what I want, I'm going to keep sending you nasty messages until you do what I want.
You were uninstalling it to end the stream and not say a damn word to us. And you just left me and Gamerhood just sitting in there. Now, to me, that's disrespectful. To everyone else, that's disrespectful because you don't fucking do people like that. You give them saying, "Sorry guys, I'm calling it a night. I'm going to uninstall this shit. I'm going to close down and I'll see you guys tomorrow." You gave us fuck all. When you get bluntly ignored and not answered, you do get pissed off. Because I know Moro and he's done this many times before. And I know what he's like. So with me doing this is a way of getting a fucking answer from him. Well, if you'd fucking answered the questions when we were asking you, Moro, we wouldn't have been fucking asking all these questions. It's as simple as that. You ask a question, you get an answer. If someone's asking you a question, you don't answer, then obviously people are going to keep on asking the fucking questions. You don't just fucking up and leave and bag them. You don't do it.
No, a true
Do you understand how fucking stupid you sound right now?
friend would be empathetic.
And yes, I am calling you fucking stupid. You disrespected me, you disrespected gamerhood, and not only being funny, but you disrespected the people that were watching your stream or the people that will watch your stream by just bluntly saying nothing and just uninstalling and going, and then just calling it. You don't end a stream like that, not saying goodbye or even acknowledging me in gamerhood by talking to you and saying, well, what's going on? You could have just answered us and everything would have been peachy and sweet.
And it's not the first time he's done it either. A long, long time ago, we were playing GTA and I had pretty much the same thing. And for like days and days, he would send me nasty messages. He would constantly call me like 10 times in a row. And it was because I wasn't doing what he wanted. He kept on doing nasty shit and sending me nasty shit with the hopes that I would eventually crack and give in and do what he wants. And I eventually just put him on block because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. You don't get to levy abuse at someone simply because they're not doing what you want. In this business of, oh, he's ignoring me, that's already bullshit because they knew that I was upset. Hey, and even if I was ignoring them, as they say, even still, that doesn't magically grant you the right to become abusive to another person. It doesn't magically justify doing that. If someone's not talking to you on a dating app, it doesn't magically grant you the right to become abusive. If someone doesn't say hello to you in the street, it doesn't give you the right to become abusive to them. But in Zarius land, it absolutely grants you the right to do that. Because he's that selfish. It's all about me, or I'm not having my needs met, so I'm going to abuse this person until my needs are met. Absolutely disgusting. And then I found out in the video that he made that he actually wanted to fly up to Queensland and confront me personally.
But you logged out of the game once again without saying a damn thing. And it was over 2 weeks I was trying to contact you and you never fucking responded. What the fuck was I supposed to think? You know, you weren't living at home. You actually got yourself an apartment. I thought something fucking happened to you. To the point where I was actually going to fly up to fucking Queensland to see you because I had your address. But still nothing. Nah.
Now I actually tried talking to him just normally with the hopes that maybe he'd snap out of it or something. But that was a mistake. He just became more and more abusive and more crazed. And at one point, he actually showed me a script he had been working on for a video. And it was a complete slant of what had happened. And he actually threatened to basically put it out online. And at that point, I'm like, oh my God, Moro, you have to get away from this person. Like this is done. And it was a massive mistake going back to him and being friends with him again. I actually got a message from Gibbs one day saying, oh, look, maybe you could repair it or whatever. And so thanks for that, Gibbs. And after quite a few years of not talking to him, we sort of go over it. And he says something like, oh, I remember it differently. So he doesn't take responsibility for what he's done. He just says, oh, I remember it differently, and moves on. But we're catching up, right? And then I find out he's not with Michaela anymore. I'm like, okay, why aren't you with Michaela? Oh, you're in the UK? How come you're in the UK? What's going on? And he retells the story about how he got arrested in Australia. He said that he found out that his wife was cheating on him, that he innocently came across it on her mobile phone, which I highly doubt, and he most likely drove Michaela away because he was emotionally abusive with her, the same way he's emotionally abusive with me. And he tells a story of Michaela actually lying to the police in order to get him arrested and taken away. And he swears up and down, I did not hit her. I didn't lay a finger on her. Yes, I did swear at her, but I did not touch her. That's what he swore up and down. Now, the police in Australia, they do not get involved if it's just words. They simply don't. Like if you call up the police and say, oh, such and such did this, this, and this, if there's no evidence of that, the police simply do not get involved. So this business of, Michaela went and lied to the police and got me arrested is just nonsense. So what I think is the most likely scenario is that because the emotional abuse didn't work as a method for control, he then escalated to physical abuse. He put a mark on her. That's what I think happened. Because if the police show up, they don't arrest someone on words. They just don't. Like what most likely would have happened is the police would have been called. The police would have came around. They would have seen the mark on Michaela and instantly arrested him. That's what I think the most likely scenario is. Oh, you're not doing what I want. I'm gonna say nasty shit to you until you do what I want. Oh, that's not working. Oh, I'm gonna hit you until you do what I want. And this is the same guy that's saying to me, oh, you're not a man. You're not a man. Okay? A real man doesn't abuse his wife. A real man doesn't put a mark on his wife. Okay? A real man doesn't treat his wife like shit until she cheats. And when he got arrested, it was in front of his own kids. So his own kids got to see their father being taken away in a paddy wagon. And yet he blames Michaela for that happening and affectionately calls her asshole, as if she was the one that caused him to do that. And then he starts talking about how asshole is keeping his own kids away from him. And then mentions, instances where Michaela's supposedly done something to turn the kids against him or whatever. And he mentioned how horrid it was for someone to keep their own children away from their parents. And then after saying this big spiel about how horrid such a thing was, he then turns around and says, oh, wouldn't it be nice if my kids lived in the UK? Then they wouldn't have to deal with arsehole anymore. And I'm thinking, didn't he just say how horrid it was to keep children from their own parents? And he's wanting to do that to Michaela? And he wants them to come over for the holidays, those kids. Like, yeah, you could probably view it as, look, it's just kind of like a wish or whatever. But if you look up horror stories online, there do exist horror stories about sending the kids over to the other parent for the holidays and that parent not sending them back and just keeping the kids. And in the UK, it's based on something called parental responsibility, which is defined in the Children Act of 1989. And this is from a UK website. And basically, the parent can say, oh, look, I have parental responsibility, and the police can't do anything about it. Like, the police just cannot get involved. Like, if it's a case of both parents having parental responsibility, the police just don't do anything. And the qualifier for having parental responsibility, I'll read it here. A father will automatically have parental responsibility if he was married to the mother at the time of the birth or was listed on the birth certificate. So both of those kids, they would have Chris listed on their birth certificate. And here's a horror story that I found. And again, this is from a UK website. The father of my son has decided not to return my child. He has access every week, but we had an argument about what time he should return my child. And he said he wasn't going to return him as he has parental responsibility. And he has found out that he can legally keep our son. I called the police, but they said they can do nothing about it as he is named on the birth certificate and therefore has PR. I am beside myself with worry. It has been 4 days now and my ex is still refusing to return him. My son is only 4 and has never been away from me longer than a day. I can't eat or sleep, and I am beside myself with worry. I just want my little boy back. Now, that could be Michaela. You know, is it possible for Chris to try something like this, considering how incredibly selfish he is? So yeah, I do think it's possible for him to do that. And if I were Michaela, yeah, it would be something I would be concerned about. I would make doubly sure that I crossed all my T's and dotted all my I's before I sent the kids overseas for a holiday, or I just wouldn't do it at all. Like it just seems crazy to me. So yeah, hopefully some good Samaritan would be able to forward this to Michaela if they can, and just let her know, or perhaps she already knows and knows how serious it is, or is wise enough to make sure it doesn't happen to her. Because yeah, I do think Chris is incredibly selfish enough to uproot his own children from their lives. Yeah, and those kids, he doesn't care about them. He doesn't. Like, if he really cared about his kids, why the hell would he flee the country instead of staying with his kids? Why the hell wouldn't he work on his marriage to keep the family together for his kids? Why would he just up and leave when things get difficult? And those boys, they are so young. Like, you don't leave the country when your kids are that young. You don't just up and leave them. Now, that is not the actions of someone that cares about his kids. That is a deadbeat father that just doesn't give a damn. Like, sending them a postcard or sending them presents is not the same thing as being there in person for the most formative years of their childhood. Like Chris, he makes content online under Zarius and under Tyridious, and he basically makes videos of a kid's game, of Minecraft. And he actually mentioned one time how he really hated his kids interrupting him making his Minecraft videos. Basically, he wanted to do the entire video in one take. And as a parent, obviously, you're getting constant interruptions from the kids and the family and whatnot. And he hated that. And he talked about how frustrated he was making videos of this kid's game, that he would stop recording and delete the whole recording and start again once the place had settled down, I suppose. And so I said to him, oh, look, why don't you do what every other YouTuber does and just use jump cuts? Like just record this little bit, record this next little bit, and sort of mash the two together, you know? So that way, if you get interrupted, it doesn't really matter. You can just pause it and then start off at whatever other point, you know, and just fix it up in post. Just have jump cuts. And he said, "Oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to do the whole thing in one take," he says. And he mentioned how agitated he was being around his own family. Like, what is more important to you? Making videos of a kid's game in one take, or being around your own family, your own kids? Which is more important? Like, he doesn't care about those kids. Like, if it were me, I would be overjoyed to have kids that interrupt me while I'm playing video games or doing whatever, you know? And now he's with another girl. How long is it going to be before the next one cheats on him? So I wonder how long it'll be before she gets abused. Perhaps he has to lock it down legally before any of that happens. Perhaps she'll end up being called the arsehole as well.
Now I'm going to put up a picture up on screen now what abuse is. Moro, I encourage you to go and study and really learn about the word abuse, because you seem to be throwing that around to everybody that you disagree with. That everyone's abusing you, everyone's harassing you and slandering you.
And he doesn't show a single scrap of evidence to support that. Where's this long list of people that I've said are abusing me? Where is it? Where the hell is it? If it were true, surely it would be something you could easily prove. Okay? It's bullshit. It doesn't exist.
Yet you're the one that's actually doing all the harassing, slandering, and stalking.
Again, no evidence of that whatsoever. Now, have a think about what he's trying to get you to believe. That I just woke up one day and out of the blue decided, oh, hey, you know what would be great? It would be really good if I spun this imaginary story about Zarius abusing me. Wouldn't that be great? Like, no, what? Like, why would I do that? There's no point in making up a story. Like, what would I have to gain from doing that? Hey, and it's the same thing for Michaela. What would Michaela have to gain from making up a story to the cops? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And he tries to spin it as, oh, yes, there is evidence. It's on his other channel. Go look at his other channel. Go look.
Yet I'm in the wrong? Come on. You only have to go on to Moro's other channel and have a look at the other people that he's taken apart to make himself look fucking better. It's just bullshit.
And if you actually go look at my channel, no, it's not a slander channel. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, the last video I did was back in 2017 about a politician. And I basically show what the politician says and then comment on what the politician said. Like, there's no slander in it whatsoever. That's ridiculous. Now, if I was indeed a serial slanderer, as he's trying to smear me as, then there would be a string of videos showing me doing that. But there isn't. Like, he's completely full of crap. In fact, you could argue that he is the serial slanderer in this instance. Kirksa actually clued me into this a while ago when he said to go and have a look at Zarius's channel. Because, like, you go to his channel and there's just so many videos on me. And all these videos are him regurgitating what happened, constantly lying and misrepresenting what happened. And it's all to paint me in the worst possible light that he can.
Watch his other videos in his other channel, how people kick him out of fucking groups that he's created because of all this bullshit.
All of that is well documented and showing I did nothing wrong. Yet here he is, lying about it, trying to paint me as some sort of serial slanderer or serial harasser or something like that. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, you can go to my channel and look for yourself that, no, it's not me being a slanderer, it's not me being a serial harasser or something, but he's painting it as such. What it is some people having a problem with speech. They're uncomfortable with other people's opinions. They're uncomfortable with opinions that don't match theirs because they can't refute them like a normal person. And so they will kick and ban. That's all it is. And I show that in my videos.
Yet you're the one that's actually doing all the harassing, slandering, and stalking.
So he's now moved on to accusations that are criminal. So it's not enough to call me a serial slanderer. It's not enough to call me a Nazi. It's not enough to paint me as this horrid friend that does horrid things to him. Now he's saying that I'm stalking. Who am I stalking exactly? Do you have evidence of this stalking business? Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
And creating sock accounts. And it's very known on Google. Everyone knows what you're capable of doing. Everyone knows what you like. And you've actually proven it again.
Yet he can't show you this readily available evidence because it doesn't exist.
So, Moro is always crying abuse. And he come into the stream again last night saying that I doxed him. Now, if you go back to his very first video where he mentions that he exposed me, he read out private conversation message that I sent him for all to see on YouTube and the world to see.
This is another thing abusive personalities do. When you put forth the evidence that clears your name, that vindicates you, they'll view that as inappropriate. They'll view that as doing something horrid. Yeah? Basically, Zarius booted me from the Discord that he's on so that I couldn't talk to any of the people that he's talking to. Then he went around and lied to people about what had happened, painting me with this nonsense of being a horrid person that's doing horrid things to him, just as he had done to Michaela. And all of a sudden, I had a mass exodus from my channel. There were all these people unsubscribing from my channel because of what Chris was telling them. So I had to clear my name. I had to show people what had actually happened. Like, yes, it is a private conversation. Normally you don't go around releasing private conversations. But in this instance, there's nothing inappropriate about clearing your name. Like, it is evidence that vindicates me, okay? So unfortunately, I had to release it, and I'm not in the wrong for doing that.
For all to see on YouTube and the world to see, mentioning real life names of my partner, and nothing was said about that.
That's not the same as doxing. That's not the same as what he did. This is what he's talking about. This line of text here. And Harrod and Gamerhood went through something. It went through a video. And Harrod is not personally identified as anyone. Like, there's no link to Anne Harrod in here at all. It's not the same as saying this person who goes by this name is really called this. What it is Zarius talking about someone called Anne Harrod, and that could be literally anyone. So Anne Harrod's not personally identified in my videos. So that's this business of, oh, he doxed me. No, that's ridiculous. So it's not doxing. It's just that Zarius was talking about a person called Anne Harrod. Who cares? Now, let's say for argument's sake that it is somehow doxing. Zarius, he went and repeated it to his audience.
So we're all going to get on the same page here. We're all going to bring out who's who and everything like that. So, hi everybody, my real life name is Chris, and his is and my woman is Angharad. So we all know each other's names, all right? Thank you, Moro. Let's carry on, buddy.
Now, when you're doxed, you don't go and actually repeat the doxing to even more people. That's ridiculous. That's not the actions of someone that's just been doxed. And also, you have to keep in mind that these names, Chris and Angharad, they are names that Zarius has repeatedly said on his channel. Like, one day, out of the blue, he got asked, hey, what's your real name? And he told people his real name. Oh, hey, my real name is Chris. So we are talking about information that's public information and not private. And if it really was doxing, they could actually go to YouTube and fill out the form, the privacy violation form, and they could have that video removed. But they don't do that, because at the end of the privacy violation form, it will explicitly say, look, you will get in serious trouble if this is not a privacy violation, if you are abusing this form. So that's why they don't do that. That's why they haven't tried doing that, because they know that they will get in serious trouble for abusing that form, because they know that it's not doxing.
I responded with a personal video as a response because I was agitated that he actually go as that far to do something like that instead of calling and contacting me personally, and I mentioned his real life name.
Now, I need people to understand how serious this is. When you put yourself out there on the internet, it does attract crazy people. And if those crazy people know your address, it's only a matter of time before one of them shows up at your house. Now, I'm not saying that he's handed out my address. I'm not saying it's as serious as that. But what he has done is narrow the search parameters for these crazy people. He's narrowed it down for people looking for an address. So he's basically made it easier for crazy people to find an address and come to my house. Now, for anyone that's dumb enough to show up, look, I am a conservative and I will defend myself if necessary. I'll just put it that way. And for Zarius, I have gone to the police and shown them your videos, and they know exactly what you've done. And have a guess who prime suspect number one is going to be if someone does show up at my house. Further, making a death threat online is the act of a coward.
Go on, I dare you to bring Mrs. G into it. Go on. I swear to God, you dude, you bring anything in my family into this, and you're a dead man. And I'm talking about on the game, because if I said that in real life, that would be threatening. So yes, I can beat the crap out of you in here, and that's what I'm meaning. You're a dead man on this screen. That's what I was talking about. But please, go and bring family and that into it, because it'd be the last thing you ever do, man. And you need to really, really back off.
And putting in a video game on the end of your death threat is a pretty stupid way to try and hide it.
I'm only doing this because my other one got taken down because of a threat. And I'm not apologising for that threat, because I think I know what part it was. So I'm not apologising for that threat. But I ain't saying it in this, because this video doesn't need to get taken down. Because as I said, there's nothing in the video to state threatening. There's no threatening behaviour. I'm just putting my points across.
Now, am I wrong for doing that? I am to a certain degree. He mentioned a real life name. I mentioned a real life name.
That's not even close to being similar. You don't get to dox someone simply because they mention your YouTube channel name. Yeah, and who's going to be stupid enough to trust you after you do this to a friend of 15 years?
I will apologize now for doing that, and will take that on the chin, because I will never ever get a response or an apology from Moro, because he's never wrong. He's always the right.
And here he is again, continuing to slander me. No, I haven't done anything wrong. And no, I don't want an apology. Like, you literally put me closer to my life being in danger. You don't get to magically erase that by saying sorry. Like, that's so fucking stupid. Like, once you put something out there on the internet, it doesn't somehow disappear. Like, it's there forever. Saying, oh, I'm sorry, that doesn't fix that.
But he mentioned real life names like I did, and nothing was said. After I posted that video and all the evidence and all the proof, Moro contacted YouTube and had that video removed because it exposed him and showed all his lies, all his manipulation, all his twisting, and all his slanderous and defamation of character of me in that video, and he didn't want anybody to see the truth on what he actually did, so he had my video removed.
No, you literally put me closer to being in harm's way. Okay? And you're still doing it. It's not enough that you've doxed me. You're going to continue to slander me with this garbage, like, over and over. Okay? This business of, oh, Moro did something wrong is just absolute garbage.
Now, fair enough, he had that removed because I mentioned his real life name. So I took it down.
No, I reported it to YouTube. YouTube looked at the video and found that, yes, there was a very serious privacy violation there, and YouTube took down the video, not you. YouTube took it down and then reassured me that there aren't any more instances of it on their website.
And edited it. And I re-uploaded it today in response to his video that he says that I doxed him.
No. Here's the video in which he's talking. And as you can see, it was uploaded on October 15th. And here's the re-upload video, which he says that he uploaded today in his video. Except, no, that's not the case. He uploaded it on, if you have a look here, the 1st of September. So he didn't just upload it recently. It's a video that's been on his channel for a month and a half. So what he's done is uploaded the video and privated the video. And when you set a video to private mode, you can actually pick and choose who can see the video.
So that is up on screen now, so you can see the thumbnail on my channel and go and have a good look at it. It changes his voice sounds and takes out his face and still shows all the truth and evidence. Now, in this video today, I'm also going to put up more evidence here that he's accused me of creating sock accounts when he does that all the time. And it's on Google. I'm encouraging everyone go type in Moro Millis or Moro Millis Reddick on Google, and you'll see people are being harassed and slandered. And it's proven that he's got multiple sock counts to go under different aliases so he can goad people into making videos so he can create videos on his own channel to try and get views off other people's names, to try and keep a debate going that's pointless. Now, I encourage Moro, you can use my name to try and slingshot yourself into YouTube, because that's all you've got.
Like, he's not fucking PewDiePie. He's not. And if I really wanted to ride his coattails and get my subscriber count up because of his name or whatever garbage, I wouldn't have cancelled streaming. Like, if that really was my plan, I would have kept my mouth shut and just taken the abuse. Because we had just bought, right, Borderlands 2, which is a co-op game, and he actually got me to buy it. And so we were planning to play Borderlands 2 co-op together, like two people streaming at the same time. And if I really wanted to ride his coattails and get my subscriber count up, that's what I would have kept on playing with Zarius. I would have kept my mouth shut and just played Borderlands 2 with him. Because we bought it together and we had it all ready to go and everything. And I would have got my subscriber count up that way, because I could have put his name on it and shown, oh look, it's also Zarius playing with me at the same time. Hey, that is what would have gotten my subscriber count up. Like, if he was PewDiePie, he's not fucking PewDiePie, he's only got like 60 subs at the moment or something.
You haven't uploaded since God knows when. You don't live stream anymore. And after 3 months, you still have nothing, no content, no real life stuff to put out on your channel. You have to come into somebody else's live stream and goad them, pretending you're somebody else, to try and get them to...
He goes on like this for a while.
Agitated and pissed off with
he
you,
basically
so
regurgitates all these points, repeats them, reinforces them.
Use my name.
Doesn't provide any proof. He just goes by that one thing that he hoaxed.
A video.
The one where he doctored the video.
Now, after 3 months, Moro, I would have thought by now, okay, Chris is not bothering with me anymore, so...
He hasn't left me alone. He keeps making videos on me. He keeps regurgitating the slander. When I put out a video or do a live stream, him and his sycophants come over to the video, put a dislike on it, and write nasty comments in my comment section. They've even taken to repeating the slander that Zarius has made up. So no, they haven't left me alone. That's ridiculous.
Let's leave it go. No, you can't let things lie, mate. You can't let things lie. And you will keep on and on and on until someone cracks and then falsely apologizes to you as if they are the ones that done something wrong. Well, it's not going to happen, because I've done nothing wrong, and Gamerhood did nothing wrong, and Bloodrose did nothing wrong.
So you hear that? He did nothing wrong. So when he abuses other people, that's not doing anything wrong in his mind. When he fabricates stories about people to damage their reputation, that's not doing anything wrong. When he doxes people, that's not doing anything wrong. When he's dropkick sycophants send me death threats, that's not doing anything wrong in his mind.
I am a bit annoyed that you've waited so long to try and goad me into something. But today of all days, knowing very well this was the day that my father passed away, that you put out a video to try and get me to be really pissed off and angry.
And now here he is trying to use his dead father to try and play the victim card. How disgusting is that? How fucked up in the head do you have to be to try and use your dead father to play the victim? Hey, and he didn't like his parents. He hated his parents. He actually described his parents as sociopaths. And he was constantly at odds with his parents. Like, he described his parents as basically sociopaths. And he told me a story about how he one day mustered up the courage to call them sociopaths to their faces. Okay, that's what he thinks about his dead parents. He's probably glad that they're dead. He got a free house out of the inheritance. Didn't have to do any work for it, just got a free house one day.
but you sit back and do this to people for fun and entertainment. It's demented and sad, and seriously, you need help, and that's all I can say about that.
And now he's trying to smear me as some sort of crazy person. Like, it doesn't end. Like, he's just going to get more and more ridiculous with his slander. He's just going to make up more and more stuff about me.
This is a gaming channel. It's not a debate. It's not a channel like that. Your channel is. Go and debate with somebody else that actually cares and wants a debate. I don't.
Okay, so he's one of these people that has a problem with debating ideas. That's very interesting, that is.
Stop harassing me. Stop stalking me.
Just so we're clear, I am in a different country to this person. This stalking business is just more slander that he's made up. Okay, stop trying to play the victim, mate.
Stop slandering me. Stop defamation of my character.
Telling people the truth is not slander. Showing people the evidence, showing people what you said to me is not slander. I think you need to go and look up what slander actually means.
Because that's what AS people do. They do the crime, but won't own up to it.
And here he is throwing all AS people under the bus. All autistics, all Aspergians, they're all criminals that do criminal behavior and then don't own up to it, he says. Absolutely disgusting. How far we've come as a society to still have people like this piece of shit still going around throwing entire groups of people under the bus, painting them as criminals. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting that he has to demonize an entire group of people just to slander one person. But get this right, Chris actually went and got a diagnosis for autism. He is legally listed as an autistic. But here he is bashing autistics and Aspergians and throwing them under the bus. And you might be thinking, oh, well, why would he do that if he's on the spectrum? Why would he do that? Well, have a look at this. And an apology as to why you didn't answer us calling you when you rudely ignored us.
Yeah, well, what would you call it then? What would you call it if you didn't fucking answer somebody that's calling out for you and asking if is everything all right, what's happening, and you bluntly ignore them? What would you call it then? You're a cunt. You're a fucking cunt. That's all I can say. You sit there and with a fucking face, right? Like you're all oblivious to everything what's going on, right? You sit there and with a fucking face, right? Like you're all oblivious to everything what's going on, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, he's not on the spectrum. He's not an autistic and he's not an Aspergian. This business of reading faces and reading meaning behind the faces, like that is exclusively something that neurotypicals do. Like obviously you can tell when like someone's upset if they're crying, for example, but the small subtle ones like not understanding, you don't see. And people have misinterpreted me not understanding before. Like I infrequently get people thinking that I don't understand something. And it always comes exclusively from neurotypicals. Hey, it is exclusively a neurotypical trait. Someone that's not on the spectrum. Like we simply don't read into faces the same way that Zarius is talking about right here. Like it's not done for Aspergians and autistics. It's just not. It's weird to look at someone's face and think that they're thinking whatever. It's weird and strange, okay? For Aspergians and autistics. It's just not something we do. And I've been around many neurotypicals in my life, and I've been around many Aspergians and autistics in my life. And I can say with certainty that judging from this, he is not on the spectrum. He just isn't. And you might be wondering, oh, well, why is he faking being on the spectrum? Why would he fake being an autistic or an Aspergian? Why would he do that? Money. For money. It's all about the money. When me and Chris were playing games, he was envious that I was getting a disability pension, welfare from the government, basically. He actually lamented that he could have gotten welfare benefits from depression, which is probably faked as well. And he messaged me one day saying that he had finally gotten a diagnosis of autism. And I think it's to get those welfare benefits. I think he's rorting the system. Chris, right, he's a very lazy person. Like, we were talking about jobs a long time ago and getting jobs. And he actually said to me at one point, oh, I could go out and get a forklift driving job tomorrow, which, if you're actually on the spectrum, is like a dream, just going out and getting a job like that, because it's incredibly difficult for us to get jobs. And I said to him, oh, geez, why don't you go and get that forklift job then? Why would you turn that down? And he said something like, oh, no, I don't want to drive a forklift though. Like, that is money on the table for your kids, for your family, and you're not going to go out and drive a forklift. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, he was happy just to stay at home and sit on his ass playing fucking video games. Like, he actually recalled a story to me one time about how Michaela went to him and said, oh, hey, look, why don't you go and get a job, and that way we'll have two jobs, we'll have two incomes coming in. And he mentioned how he told off his wife, how he said, oh, hey, look, this is what we agreed to. You're going to work and I'm going to sit home and be a housewife. And he was actually proud of doing that. He was actually proud of saying that to his wife. And then told me how, after saying that to his wife, he went back to his computer and sat back down and played video games again. Like, that is your family that's depending on you to provide, and you're not going to bother going out and getting a job so you have extra money coming in. Why? Why be that lazy? Why sit on your ass and play video games all day? You know, if you can go out and actually get a job. So yeah, he lied about being on the spectrum when he got his diagnosis, and he probably picked it all up from me and learned how to do it from me within the 15 years. And I can bet you your bottom dollar, as soon as he got that diagnosis, he would have gone straight to the welfare office. So hopefully some good Samaritan over there will be able to contact the welfare office or whatever it is and actually tell them, oh, look, this guy is rorting the system, and actually get them onto an investigation.
If you want to waste your time, I wouldn't bother. Just cut it. I don't want to know you. You're dangerous. I don't want to know you.
Oh, now I'm a dangerous person. Yeah, he's never going to stop slandering me.
Focus on moving out of your parents' home. Focus on your own life. Focus on getting a skinny girl.
And here he is taking cheap shots at my character, basically saying that I'm single and living in my parents' basement, which is a really petty thing to say. Except the person saying this actually got a free house from his parents. So you're not really in a position to call anyone out on living in their parents' basement or whatever. But if we are going to compare lives and score each other or whatever petty nonsense, you abused your wife to the point that she cheated on you. You physically abused her and got arrested. You're the deadbeat father that abandoned his own kids at a young age as well. And you're probably going to abuse wife number 2 until she cheats on you. Oh, and you're stealing money from the most unfortunate and the taxpayer by rorting the welfare system. So if we're going to compare each other and compare yourself to me, yeah, I'm significantly better than that.